So is the Vancouver market crashing or is it just sleeping? Because if you're reading the headlines right now, you're seeing things like sales at a 20-year low. But then you look at the inventory charts and it looks like listings just dropped off a cliff. So which one is it? And here's the thing. It's actually both and neither. We're in a really interesting moment right now where the market is fundamentally different than anything we've seen in the past decade. I'm Barton, and I'm a realtor here in Metro Vancouver, and today I want to walk you through what's actually happening with the numbers. I want to clear out some confusion around this seasonal drop that everyone's talking about. And then we'll zoom in on three specific markets: Richmond, Metrotown, and Surrey, where we're seeing some pretty big price drops. Alright, let's start with the inventory because this is where people are getting confused. If you pull up the chart, it looks dramatic. We went from almost 18,000 listings in the summer and all the way down to about 12,000 in January. That's a massive drop, right? But here's what you need to know. This happens every single winter. And December and January are always slow because sellers take their homes off the market for the holidays. They're taking a short trip, so it's predictable. So yeah, 12,000 sounds really low than it was 6 months ago, but when you compare to where we were in other Januaries, it's actually the highest we've been to start a year in over a decade. And get this, the total inventory right now is still about 40% higher than what we saw in January 2023 or 2024. And back in January 2022, that's when the market was absolutely on fire. We had only about 6,000 homes for sale, and right now we got double that. So don't let the winter dip trick you into thinking like the inventory is very low, it's depleting. It's not. And we still got a ton of supply right now. Now you might be wondering, are sellers starting to panic and pull their listings? Or are they just still trying to get out? I pulled the data on new listings for January, and here's what it shows. About 5,100 new homes came onto the market this month. That's actually down about 7% from last January, which was a record year for new listings. So yeah, fewer sellers are jumping in compared to the peak, but, and this is important, it's still 40% higher than what we were seeing in 2023 or 2024. So the tap hasn't been turned off. New inventory is still flowing into the market every single day. It's just not the flat we saw a year ago. Okay, so we've got high inventory. We got steady new listings. What does that mean for prices? Well, basic economics here. When you've got way more supply than demand, prices soften. And that's exactly what we're seeing across Metro Vancouver. Prices have hit a 3-year low. Detached homes are down about 7%. Condos and townhomes are down around 6%. And when you look at the sales to active ratio, which basically tells you how fast homes are selling, we're sitting at 9%. Anything under 12% is considered a buyer's market, and we are well below that. So right now, the power is completely on the buyer side. Let me bring this down to street level for you, because the big numbers are one thing, but what's actually happening in specific neighborhoods. And I want to highlight three areas where we are seeing some really interesting trends. Let's start with Richmond. Richmond condo and townhouse market right now, it's completely tilted towards buyers. The sales ratio is sitting at 9%, which means only about 9 out of 100 listings are actually selling. There are over 1,100 units on the market right now, and because there's so much choice, buyers are getting an average of 3% off the asking price. Next up, Metrotown. This one's all about the price drop. The benchmark price for a condo in Metrotown is now sitting at about $863,000, and a year ago it was $938,000. That's a $75,000 drop in 12 months. Sales have been super quiet, Only 28 transactions happened in the entire area last month. So if you're a first-time home buyer looking for an entry point, Metrotown is worth a serious look right. And then there's Surrey. Surrey's attached market is in the same boat as Richmond. 9% sales ratio and is firmly in the buyer's market territory. But the big difference is the entry price. The median price in Surrey is $545,000, which is way more accessible for a lot of buyers. Sales dropped 38% last month, and the inventory shot up to almost 1,200 units. If you're looking for deals, Wally and East Newton are where you're going to find the most leverage. Homes are sitting on the market for over 40 days. So you got time to negotiate. So what's the play here? The forecast for the rest of 2026 is what people are calling a sideways market. We're probably not going to see a crash, but we're also not expecting things to suddenly take off. For buyers, this is actually ideal. You are buying at a 3-year price low while the inventory level is high. When the rate drops furthermore and demand returns, these same condos could be $25,000 to $50,000 more. This is your accumulation phase. However, we don't know exactly what the future will look like, so make sure you do your research and look at things carefully. For sellers, you probably need to be very careful with your pricing because the competition right now is quite high. You have other sellers trying to sell, and you have all these uncertainties within the market, the local and global economy, and all the stuff happening around the world. So if you're not priced right and if your place isn't show ready, it is going to sit on the market. Real estate is super local, so if you need a full breakdown for your specific neighborhood, feel free to reply to this email and I'm happy to assist you. My name is Barton and thank you for watching this month's real estate market update.